Greetings guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about something very interesting, and that is relapses. Before we dive into it, we need to define the term. What is a relapse? Okay, so the way I would define a relapse is a return to a particular behavior or behavior pattern that you had said you were going to leave in the past. And this term is used in your 12-step programs, by Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, to define when you decided that you're going to be sober, your return to your non-sober behaviors. I really don't like the term relapse because it always is used with a negative connotation. There's always a negative emotional charge behind the word relapse. Okay, if we look at the eminent psychologist Carl Jung and we look at his work, he talks about regression, which is essentially a relapse at the end of the day. It means going back to a place where you were in the past, previous behavior patterns, previous ways of being, previous ways of doing things. And he looked at regression as just part of the natural process. He saw regression as you falling back to an earlier form of being in order for you to gain power to move to the next level. Okay, and I think this is a much healthier way of looking at relapse. I much prefer the term regression. Okay, much less emotionally charged in my opinion, and much more useful to me at the end of the day, because I have many a time I've fallen back into old patterns of behavior. And when I fall into old patterns of behavior, I have a choice. I can either give in to that narrative of, well, I'm just useless, I'm worthless, I've gone back to this behavior when I said that I wasn't going to do it, I don't keep my word, I have no integrity. I could fall into that like shame-based way of doing things. Or I could take control of the situation. I could say to myself, hey, Val, it's okay. You're a human being. You made the choice to go backwards. You always have the choice, right? You've always made the choice. Even if you made the choice that you didn't want to make, you still made the choice at the end of the day. So I like to take control of the situation. I made the choice. Now, why am I making that choice to go back? Why am I making the choice to go back to that comfort zone that I know doesn't serve me anymore? That's a much healthier way of relating to a so-called relapse. Rather than calling it relapse, rather than even calling it regression, I'd rather call it a lesson. Okay, because there's a reason I'm still going back to that way of being. What do I need to learn in this previous state of being before I have the power to move to that next level? That is a much better way of looking at it, guys. And yeah, that's just a short video just to say I think that the whole concept of relapse is just a myth. It's an absolute myth, guys. Rather look at it as a lesson. If you slide backwards, why are you sliding backwards? What do you need to see in this state of being before you can go up to that next level? Don't give in to that narrative of shame, telling yourself that you're useless, that you have no control. You always have control of what you're doing. You just need to find the reason that you keep making the choice that doesn't serve you. Take full responsibility, radical accountability, and watch your life change.